Welcome back! It's Monday, and we are back to the level grind. Let me flip on over to the console gameplay screen. We are still on level 46, but that's a given the gaps. And by gaps, I mean every single level just there's more XP to grind through for each level, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna chip away at that. I have no idea what level we're at. I'm pretty sure we're in the zone of 2 streams remaining before we level up next, so I'm pretty excited about that. Very excited about that. Who am I kidding? Alright, let's rock and roll. For anyone wondering about the title of the stream, I've just been thinking a lot about computers again and how they're made of math and lots of programming stuff and things, because the Amazing Digital Circus dropped another episode and there was a very computer-involved sequence in there, so I was like, got a little nostalgic. It was especially hilarious because I got a little nostalgic for Windows 98. I didn't have a copy of, I didn't have a computer with 95. I had 98, and I am missing that computer like nobody's business, but unfortunately the poor mathematical problems are up the wazoo apparently. Guess we're going into podcast mode. Thank goodness for me doing a backup recording, because that would be an absolute nightmare. Alright, we're starting off strong today. Provided the thing can behave itself for more than 2 minutes. That's always a challenge, though. Almost always a challenge, actually. Sometimes we could do smooth sailing, and then sometimes we have no sailing, and then it's a nightmare. But yeah, things are moving along quite nicely, I think. I haven't poked at the video file that I was last working on just because things have been a little bit like for a couple days. Hopefully I can get myself in the proper headspace to finish off that next video. It's just another me ranting and rambling about the Wi-Fi being issues. Another compilation of the Wi-Fi issues, with a little added bonus of me doing terrible art over the top of some of the less visually interesting clips and making them just a little bit more funny, at least to me. I think it's hilarious. I don't have anything I can just throw up on the screen for a sneak preview, but it's pretty funny. Let's just say I did a poorly drawn modem at some point. And I had to draw it with my finger because my tablet pen was not cooperating. And by not cooperating, I mean it was just dead. That's all there is to it. Yep, so hopefully I can poke through and pick out a few more scenes where I'm going to give it the pseudo-animation treatment. I am not an animator by any means. I haven't put in the time and practice to call myself an animator, so yeah. Little art bits. Those are always fun. I've noticed that actually when there's like a slightly more fancy looking thumbnail, at least that's like drawn with characters and stuff, I am much more prone to clicking on it. I don't know why. Who knows? Maybe it's because I detect there's a story going on there. Yeah, that's the most likely. That sounds like me. I am a sucker for stories. I used to write plenty of them. They're still existent on my old desktop. There are plenty of them existent on my laptop. There's just, wherever I can write, I will write. Although I did purge my Google Docs and port them onto a flash drive because I didn't trust Google Docs to not wipe my stuff. So, yeah. That's the story of that. It was like, you know what? You're not using my stuff. Nope. Also, at certain points, there are character limits and page limits, and I don't want to hit those, and I can very much hit those, depending on the story that I'm working on. There are a couple of stories that I have written that exceed at least 200 pages. There is one that exceeds 500, and it scares me and keeps me up at night. Well, maybe not all the time, but it certainly stares at me because it's still not finished. I'll work on it. In the meantime, we are making steady progress towards level 47, which means we will make steady progress towards level 48 and so on and so forth until we hit level 99, and then we inevitably go beat up Twilight Thorn and continue the rest of the game. Ain't that gonna be exciting? I think that's gonna be very exciting. Good old nostalgia. Is that related to math? I mean, yeah, I get nostalgic about math, which is kind of crazy for a lot of people, because the running, I wouldn't say it's a running joke, but I guess the running theme that happens a lot is everybody's like, oh, I can't do math, it's scary, The problem is just not understanding the darn thing, which, I mean, yeah, that's like half the battle. Understanding is like the majority of the battle, and then once you understand what the heck is going on, whew, it's easy. Smooth sailings. I do understand how numbers can be intimidating. I mean, I'm looking at those dang numbers, and every once in a while I'm just like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. Or I try to whittle them away for no rhyme or reason. I've done that a couple streams in a row. That's why you take breaks when you start getting obsessed over the numbers. It's a good time to take a breather away. Oh, good golly. Sorry for the yawns. I actually started adjusting to the time change because in the US, daylight savings has already started. It sucked. But I think I finally adjusted to it. I'm not quite sure, actually. Apologies, I really needed to drink water. It's good for the soul. It's also good for me to be able to keep up with all the speaking that I do. Because, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember how much I've talked in this entire day. And to be frank, I don't really talk that much throughout the entire day up until the live streams, which I mean, I guess that means I give myself a vocal rest so I don't completely destroy my voice, but yeah. Could have stood to give myself at least a little bit of a warm-up. Yeah, that's the word. Don't know why I forgot the word warm-up. Yeah. Ah, good old grind. Good old grind of levels. No joke, the entire current episodes out of Maging Digital Circus is living rent-free in my head right now. I'm just like, I can't wait till the next one comes out. I won't give specific spoilers, but that one part in the latest episode, oh my gosh, my heart was pounding. I was like, It wasn't like genuine fear, but it was like, oh no. Oh no. That's no good. Fun show. Very fun. Very much enjoying it right now. Did not think I would get nostalgic. It's part of the reason why I got super nostalgic. I think I already said that about my old computer, so probably gonna wake up my XP computer in a couple hours just to poke at it and be like, I miss you. Oh, I love that thing. It brings me joy, and the fact that it is no longer having to deal with the internet brings me extra joy, because then it is safe. Safe away from scary things online. I say that as I actively use the internet on a regular basis. Ah, well. Oh, it is what it is. Goodness gracious me. Ow. Nice. I want to poke around in my old programs. Who knew? Oh dear. That's gonna be a fun little rabbit hole to go down again. Who knows? Maybe I'll have fun with it. My best known language is Java, so I'm not sure what much I'm gonna do with it. Probably break like 15 things in a row or something like that. But Uh, oh, goodness sakes, I am so sorry. I was gonna say, plus, if I've updated Java, hopefully it doesn't break a bunch of things with some of my old programs, because if it does, oof. Just oof. And that includes my final project that I used to graduate from college, which was a little button of, like, you press button to get questions to help with writing stories. It was very basic. And it just had a list of questions that it drew from to ask yourself and write down, like, what would character do in this situation? What does that? I think I still have the text file. I'm pretty sure I still have the text file. I wonder, will my laptop be able to handle pulling that up? It is currently fighting for its life. Actually, it's not really fighting for its life. It's really behaving right now. This laptop is really funny, by the way. It will run Destiny 2, but there is a caveat. I cannot watch cutscenes. If it tries to play cutscenes, it will crash. The game, not the computer itself. It will crash the game. It's very funny. I discovered that back in, like, late term of college, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then I proceeded to play Destiny for like 2 hours on my laptop, and it was very enjoyable. It was also really weird because I could actually use voice chat. I don't play it anymore, mostly because I used to play it regularly on my PS4, and then the game just kept getting more and more bloated, and I was like, you know what, I want to play other games, so you're getting uninstalled. Also, every update took like way too long to download, so I was like, you know what, it's not worth the enjoyment. I can find another game where I can randomly go up on high perches and snipe in PvE. But man, I miss that sniper rifle. It was my favorite. It had a very magical add-on that highlighted enemies if you managed to get the scope and the crosshair on it. It was it's a very magical sniper rifle. I love that thing so much. I painted it purple too. I really liked my weapons to be purple. It was very fun. I can't remember the specific shader, but the shader had like purples and then like a dark purple, and then the rest was like kind of grayish. Those were the shaders that I tended to select. I wanted to do some other ones, but that was just mainly for my Titan character. I can't remember, there was... What did I pick for my hunter? I think it's either my hunter or my warlock that I picked a lot of pink for. If I could get a hold of pink colors, I would use them. Because I was like, ooh, pretty. A little bit of fashion, you know? Although I would just pick up random stuff and then put on whatever was, like, better, would make numbers go up. So I maybe wasn't as fashionable as I could be, but, you know. Sometimes you want a little bit more power over fashion. And sometimes you want to be more fashionable. And sometimes you have a favorite gun, which is just a random basic drop. Oh, good times. Good times with those series. That just got me thinking. It's still related to computers, but that got me thinking about some of the early versions of computers and how they use these punch cards to run programs, because the punch cards basically were the instructions for the programs. And so you would have to stick the punch card in to run the program. It was pretty sick. It's pretty cool. And they actually did those punch cards because they were based off of some of the automated machines for, I can't remember if it was looming? It was based in textiles. Textiles is the earliest type of programming, and it's so impressive and fascinating. I highly encourage looking it up. It's really cool. It is so absolutely cool. I love it. Love it to bits. Whee! Ah. Nice. Oh my god. I do apologize for all the yawning. I never fully get rested for sleep. What was that? Oh, magic. Teleporting. Ugh. Cool. Okay, good. I was wondering for a second because I completely forgot if I already went in and out. I did. Yay. Alright, nailed it. Huh. If we have 2 good stream days in a row, we will get to level 99. Level 47. Let's not jump ahead. That is way far in the distance. Like, this is the current status of things. We are just over 1/10 of the way in XP. We got a ways to go. If we're going by RuneScape rules, 92 is half of level 99. So we got a little ways to go. It's just a bit of a distance, you know? Ow. That was actually not too bad. Excuse me, friend. Alright, we have broke the below 8,000 barrier, which is good. Always down for that. I'm thinking about that earlier time adjustment from last week. I don't think I particularly liked it. I think I'm just very comfortable in this, like, time of day rather than the earlier time, like 4 hours earlier. I don't know. I'm still kind of up in the air on it. Maybe it was just because it was a Tuesday or something like that, but I genuinely think I think I picked this time on purpose in the first place, so yeah. Gonna have to figure out some other planning for that. That's okay though. I'm glad that I like a time. And I'm glad I'm already in the habit of said time. Very glad. Oh. Goodness gracious me. I'm thinking about potatoes again. But I think about potatoes a lot. It's a staple in a lot of meals that I really am particularly fond of. Like for example, just the other day, I grilled some burgers so I could have burgers and fries. I just finished off the last one actually. Delicious. But yeah, potatoes, because fries. And I'm also thinking about the fact that I got the supplies for that one recipe, vegetables and gravy. I talk about it like 15 times a month on stream. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, got the supplies. Gotta eventually make it. Oh. Preferably before the potatoes start sprouting, because when they start sprouting and if they turn green, then it will become not a good time to eat them, because that will poison me. And I am not gonna have another episode of accidentally poisoning myself with potatoes. Not again. Calm down with the wee woo. Okay, there we go. It's fine. Aw. That's okay, I still got an 8 out of it. Alright, big stretch. Alright, can you attack? Thank you. Alright. And perfect! We're on a good streak today. Good golly. On a good streak for level grind, but not on a good streak for how many yawns I have. Jeez. Down the line, I should make a yawn counter and then just have a little button fob that adds to the counter. Actually, no, that's a bad idea. It'd be kind of funny for the first couple of times, but then it'd be like, why are you tired all the time? And the answer is, I don't give myself enough sleep, that's why. What is sleep? Do I know her? I'm just kidding, I know her well. I'm gonna stop that bit before it goes anywhere. Right. Oh, that's gonna be funny for me for the next few hours. Or I'm just gonna forget about it in like 20 minutes when I get distracted by something else. Very plausible. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Nice. Okay. Swing. And snap. Crackle. Pop. Speaking of snap, crackle, pop. There we go. Pop the spine. Don't worry, it's not a bad pop. It's a much needed one. I needed to fix it. Also, it's good for me to remember to straighten up my posture, so then 1, I don't turn into a shrimp, and 2, it's for my diaphragm, so then I can breathe and continue talking away. Yay! Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. We have made much progress in this world. About 1000 XP. Yeah, we're doing pretty swell, actually. Ah! No! Stop. Okay, fixed it. There was something that was bothering me, and I think... Nope. Nope, I didn't fix it. Hang on. Okay, there we go. I think I fixed it. Ah! Okay. That's cool. Da 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 da. Yeah. By the way, I think I have come to the conclusion that it just turns out that all of my problems have indeed stemmed from me just accidentally pressing the R2 button with the command roulette. Either that, or it's because there's not the curse of half and half streams. I don't know. But I haven't had any, like, roulette moments in the Ventus stream. Which is kind of depressing. I was hoping for a challenge, but I think it's just because I pay too much attention to where my finger is at now. Darn. But I've seen it do it by itself before, so maybe I'm just not pressing the button enough. I'll press the button a lot more next time I do that, which will be as long as I'm not feeling like a garbage man. Actually, garbage men get paid decently, I think. As long as I not feel like garbage, then I will... Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah. Yeah, we'll continue the adventure and it'll be fun. I think I finished up Radiant Garden last time I did the Ventus stream. And the next part is Disney Town, Deep Space, and Olympus. Disney Town is actually a little bit more tolerable as Ventus because I don't have to deal with Fruit Ball or the Rumble Racing. I'm not looking forward to playing as Aqua with Fruit Ball. Oh my gosh, I hate that game. I just hate Disney Town. I think that's just my problem. I do not like it. I do not like that section of the game. It is suffering. Anyway. Let's see. There's also that one boss that's probably gonna annoy me in Deep Space. The squid? Jellyfish? It kind of moves like a jellyfish or a squid. But either way, I don't think I remember having fond memories of that thing. So that's gonna be fun. I think I just blocked it out in my mind or something like that. Who knows? Ka-chow. Oh, nice. I don't know what XP I got at that last point. Hi! Hi, puppies. The puppies, they search. Not for me, though. They know where I'm at. They can hear me. Oh. Wow. Good golly. And a hop, and a hop, and a hop. Don't know why I dodged that. It'd probably do me some good to take some damage, so then I can get the 8 XP I'd so desire. What was that mathematical problem again? I remember seeing a short just the other day about someone doing a mathematical calculation of how long it'd take. He was basing it, I think, off of the 4 XP route instead of the 8 of how long it'd take. So I can't remember the exact number for the life of me. Plus, I've accepted that there is going to be a variable amount between 40 to 80 XP per back and forth on the 10 dusks here. And it really depends on my patience. And also, there's just a time variable of how many times they actually attack me, so then I can get below 10 HP and get the desired 8 XP. And no, I still haven't bothered one any of my former math teachers about it. I don't think I should. Probably not the best plan. Plus, they're probably all busy. They're busy teaching people. Oh my gosh, why is that bothering me today? Goodness sakes, of all the moments to be in contact with the universe, of course, now it chooses to be functional. Good job. Alright, that makes no sense out of context. In context, just every once in a while, I am very aware of my surroundings, and sometimes with the awareness of surroundings comes with my nose itches, and it's really pissing me off. Yay! Wee woo. We don't have the toasty season snacks just yet. Which means no popsicles for me. Not yet, anyway. I cannot wait for popsicle season. Well, actually, I can wait for popsicle season, but I'm also excited for popsicle season because it means in the middle of my mowing days and mowing hours, I will grab a popsicle and eat it. And it'll be the most refreshing thing on the planet. Because sometimes you gotta eat flavored ice. Just chomp it. Chomp. And I know that sounds like it's something that hurts your teeth, but it's literally just the it's literally just all popsicle encased in plastic without like the wooden stick or something like that. It's the good stuff, you know? And the only waste is the plastic, sadly. But I don't think you could really do much with that with paper, because when you first buy them, they are completely liquid. And then you have to stick them in the freezer for a couple of hours to do their magic. So, yeah. By the way, you can't make a popsicle out of Capri Sun. I've already tried it. Either that or I just put that thing in the freezer for too long, and it became a solid brick of ice. Which sucked. And wasn't very delicious. If I ever get a Capri Sun again, maybe I'll set one up at the beginning of a stream or something like that. 2 hours. 2 hours should do it. And then at the end of the stream, I'll pull it out of the freezer and try to eat it or something like that. Maybe that's what I'll do. That'd be kind of silly. Too bad I didn't think of that earlier today. I could have gotten it when I went to my grocery shopping. Now I gotta wait a little bit. Oh, good golly. Okay, and now the voice is doing all the things, but you know what? It's helping me speak easier, so I'll just roll with it. Please say hello to not Southern Yellowfang 42, which is very important to distinguish that because whenever I do this accent, it's just a very generic accent. It is not from any specific place. It is an amalgamation of every single South-related, and by South, I mean American South, like U.S. South accent. So, it gets a little all over the place, and it just makes everybody slightly in pain. Slightly. Some more than others. I have a friend who I used to drive nuts by every once in a while doing that. I also drove him nuts because I had a little bit of a more of a Spaniard accent when I spoke Spanish and he did not learn Spaniard? Spanish? So yeah. It was very funny. I think I've already mentioned that about 3 or 4 times. To be fair, I think I'm a broken record, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everybody different gets to hear it. Not everybody hears the same thing twice. You know? I know. I know. Did I ever make that last VOD published? Shoot, I don't know. La-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-dee. La-di-da-di-da. Da-di-da-di-dee. Alright then. That's cool. That is just fine and dandy. So many things are going through my head right now. I have got like, basically imagine if you're in a city, imagine your local major interstate at drive time. That is my brain. Oh good heavens, sorry you had to hear that. But imagine your local interstate at drive time. That's what my brain is doing 24/7. And by drive time, I mean rush hour, where everybody's trying to get home or everybody's trying to get to work. And there's just cars backed up on the freeway and the highway and the on-ramps and the off-ramps. Everybody's just trying to get home or trying to get to work. And it's just a clogged up mess. That is how my brain operates, except for some reason they actually managed to run. I don't know how they manage to all run, but every once in a while there's one thought that just gets kind of stuck, and that's when it causes a whole traffic jam, and it's a real pain in the butt to unstick it. Sometimes I do a light little knock on my head to try to jostle it loose, but other times I just have to stick some music in my ears or do something else to be able to jostle the thought loose or just remove it, tow it off of the brain highway. And it goes right off to the side, and it's all fine and dandy afterwards. Until the next time I think about it and get stuck on the same damn thought again. Why am I leaning into it? You know what? I don't mind. I actually really don't mind leaning into it. It makes me happy. I am an amalgamation of everybody I met. And occasionally some things just show through a little bit stronger than others. Don't know why. But it's cool. It's fine. Oh my gosh! Goodness gracious me. Oh no. I better pay attention to what I'm doing, otherwise I'm gonna add another death to the non-existent death counter for before level 99. I've lost track already of how many deaths I've had before level 99, and it ain't pretty. It's at least 5 at this point. Let's not make it 6. I think it's, yeah, I think it was 5 the last time it happened, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And I am not combing through all those VODs, even though I probably would be just fine combing through all of them, but that is about 2.5 hours each. And that's not even including the ones that got all broken up because of internet connection shenanigans. So. Y'all want to count how many times I died in the between level 19 and now? You can go on and do that. I ain't doing it. No thank you. Just don't feed it to any AI. That shit, I don't like that shit. Get that generative AI out of my face. Nasty. Bunch of content thieving shenanigans. Working off the hard work of other people. Rude. Blech. Now just keep an eye on it. Just keep in mind, I'm talking about generative AI and stuff that's meant to try to replace artists and creators and writers and, you know, people who actually work to flesh out their ideas and so forth. I don't mind the artificial intelligence that helps with automated processes and finding out stuff. Like, for example, the stuff that's used in medical to try to track certain things based on patterns. Because it's being used as a tool rather than as an end product for whatever it is. I think that's the difference. And honestly, let's be real here. I wouldn't really call those things like AI. I mean, AI is what usually people referenced when they talk about, for example, these guys run on a specific algorithm based on, okay, character is in X position, this means that I will do such and such move. Like, for example, I do a reversal, they do that, followed by a sweep or a headbutt. Or if, I don't know what the exact reasoning behind the upside down thing is, but another thing that they do is, for example, they hop away, or if I'm too far away from them, they jump in the air and basketball to get behind me. But those things, those are referred to as AI in terms of, like, enemy AI and stuff. And technically, yes, it is artificial intelligence in that way, but it's more of an algorithmic thing and a series of, well, I wouldn't call it a series of if-else, it'd be more of a switch statement. That would be the most optimal thing, for it to be a switch statement rather than that. We don't talk about any spaghetti codes. I know about spaghetti code games. I do not mind them so long as they run. Hi, Sweet Pea, are you alright? You good? Hi. Hi, baby. You doing alright? I got a puppy by my side. Technically speaking, I called her in and asked her if she was doing alright. Oh, it's another Sweet Pea. Got 2 peas in a pod? Hello! Would you like some attention too? Oh my goodness, you are jelly. Don't get jelly, baby. Don't get jelly. Oh my goodness, I got 2 babies who just want love and affection and attention. Goodness sakes, I don't have enough hands. This is sometimes why I wish I had more arms. I would like to have at least 4 arms. Would that mean that my torso is a little bit weird? Yes, of course, that would mean it will look a little interesting. But if I had 4 arms, that would mean I would have 2 arms to be able to pet my puppies and 2 arms to be able to do everything else. I would love to do that. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness, you are just so darling. You're such a baby. I gotta make sure to pay attention to what I'm doing, otherwise I'm gonna get cracked over the head by a dust can. Just go chop! Or headbutt it in the leg. Which usually only happens in real life if a toddler comes running full pelt at you. You ever have a toddler running full pelt at you? That's kind of terrifying. Because they just run right into you. They don't have the concept of consequence yet. They're still learning that. They're learning about physics in real time. It's kind of like the same thing whenever they accidentally spill something on the floor and then they just pour the rest of it because they want to see what happens with the rest of it and whether or not they can stop it. It's highly entertaining, and once somebody explained that they're just learning about physics and stuff, I'm like, you know what, I'll give it a pass. Will I be a little bit upset if it's something on the carpet that's real hard to get out? Oh, of course, but, you know, they're just learning. It's their first day on Earth. Well, okay, not their first day on Earth, but it's their first time around, last I checked. I mean, unless you believe in the whole reincarnation cycle, then maybe it's not their first time around, but pretty sure it's... Okay, we're not gonna get into the debate of which one is actually the whole one true religion or something like that, because that could get it. That's how That's how religious wars start, and we ain't doing that. Nope. And it's always good to give kids grace every once in a while, you know? Because, like, most of the time, they don't know better. They're just learning from whatever they learn from the parents and the other siblings around them and whatever they see. They're just imitating things. That's all they're doing. They're just figuring things out. And they can do some dumb, silly stuff. Some of them have to deal with a lot more stuff going on in the head than others. Some of it is up to them, and some of it is completely not up to them at all. Based on environment, other factors, and so forth. I mean, that's a whole other human being. Just imagine you, but it's not you. It's you, but it's in another whole shell, like, body system. And they're doing all the thoughts and feelings that you might be feeling, or different ones at different times, and that sort of thing. That's what it's like to be around other people. A little bit of existential horror in that matter, actually. It's like, oh yeah, people have lots of things going on. Good golly. Sometimes it's just plain easier to forget that. Oh well. Ain't that a fascinating subject? I'm still thinking about that damn text file. What the heck? I kind of want to look at it. Chat, do you want to look at the text file? I won't be able to pull it up. I mean, I can try, but I don't think I'll like to pull it up because it might cause some shenanigans. I might break something. Ow. Let me take out these next three. Let me take out these next three and see if I can poke around and give it a show. I just gotta make sure that details don't show up. Come on, will you please stop bouncing around like a pack of kangaroos or something like that? I know it's not a pack, I just can't remember the group name of kangaroos at the moment. I used to be an avid watcher of Animal Planet, and now I am not. Mostly because I don't have cable. I don't really want cable, it's too many ads. That's why we all fled cable, and now they're trying to make it all cable again. And it's just like, y'all know the reason we ran away. It's because y'all were just throwing ads at us left and right, and it was all just a bunch of hooey. Okay, it's not all a bunch of hooey. Some of them were actually pretty decent. And some of them were loud as hell, looking at you, that random Ultimate Love Songs collection. You ever been woken up by Michael Bolton at 2 a.m.? I have. Terrifying. There's also a couple of ones. I think it was Celine Dion who usually starts up the longer commercial, and then Michael Bolton kicks in, and then there's a couple of other ones, and so on and so forth. That's how it goes. Anyway, I'll just take a lookaroo. Maybe I'll just read it off to y'all instead. I think that'll be on the safer route. Just until I can figure out how to run this thing. Where the heck is my documents? Do I still have that? Is it just out in the open? That sounds like something I would do. It is. Oh my god. Why would I do that to myself? Why would I do that? What the heck? Alright, let me just pull it up in Notepad. Yeah, there's lots of fun little questions in there to help you with writing your story, like, for example, what would happen if the character's best friend died? Does the character solve problems by force, biological action, or some other method? How does the character react to surprise revelations? What dream has the character had as a child? Character's relationship with family, how do they feel about authority, what's the quickest way to the character's heart, whether or not the character's religious. You'd be surprised how much that influences people's lives. You should check it out. What stops the character from leaving said plot? Can the character face their fears, or do they run away? Is the character afraid of the antagonist, or are they annoyed? What do they feel about the antagonist? Oh my god, that's a typo. Let me just, oh, that's embarrassing. That was on my final project. It was just the H and I switched around in the word something. Ah, what would the character think is the end of their world? Ooh, these questions are fun. I really like these. I now remember why I like these questions. Does the character have a secret they can't tell anyone? Ooh. What are their ideals and how would these ideals be challenged? See, these are lots of things that you can poke around with your story writing. I should really... I should make this an actual exe file, make it downloadable or something like that. I'll need to poke around in it a little bit more and relearn some programming stuff. Maybe add about like a dozen more questions or so because there's only like 25? 25. Ooh, this one's a really great one, and I think a lot of people can relate to this one. Does the character have someone they idolize, and do they make their idol? Ooh. Another one is really great. How does the character handle a crisis? This is just a lot of getting to know your characters. But if you get to know your characters, you'll get to know how they react in the plot. Ain't that fun and dandy? I'm so glad I came up with that when I was in college. Goes to show I didn't lose all of my brain activity, just some of it. Okay, I lost a chunk of it, but it wasn't during that time. That was in late 2022. That was when I started losing a lot of brain cells. Now, whether it was illness or just general insanity, that remains to be seen. Personally, I think it was the illness. But yeah, pretty good stuff. I'll need to poke around with that program again. I'll have to figure that out. Make it a little downloadable thing. Maybe I can make it a website. Do I really want to spend $12 on that? I mean, I once saw a website where it was just said on the website, best $12 I ever spent, and it was just a silly little face that they drew up using the CSS and stuff. It was really cute. I wonder if that website is still out there. Probably not. But it was a lovely little thing. I learned about that when we did a little bit of website design in our class, back in one of our classes back in high school, because I could just do that. The way our school was set up, we were able to get plenty of high school credits, which I am very glad about, because then I never had to deal with summer school. Well, so long as I passed the said classes, goodness sakes. I was fighting for my life in a couple of them. To be fair, I don't know how I was functioning in half of them. Well, some of them. That's a lot to unpack. I get to unpack that. Yay! Not here. We're not unpacking that on a stream. That's silly. Well, it's not. It's less silly and more just like, not the time or place. You know what I'm saying? Live streams are where you get to be silly, tell fun stories, and occasionally make weird jokes. Hopefully that are funny. Not like weird jokes. You know what I'm saying, right? Golly gee, what in the world? You know, there is something that I miss about living, not necessarily in the South, but just in a more humidified state. I really miss the humidity because it did wonders on my skin. I was not fighting for my life constantly against my dry ass skin. Either that or it's dry or it's oily. It cannot pick a lane. I'm not joking, by the way. It will not pick a lane. It refuses to pick a lane, and it's really pissing me off. I'll have to figure it out, which is not something I'm looking forward to. I did talk about looking into some skincare stuff, but I can't figure out whether it's for dry or for oily skin. That's the hard decision, you know what I'm saying? And then, depending on where you go, the stuff is expensive as hell, and it's just like, goodness sakes, I'm just trying to take care of my health, and y'all are making me pay through the nose to get just basic things. It's probably just in mainly those fancy makeup stores, but if you don't know what you're looking for, then it's kind of difficult. The struggle is real. I've always had trouble trying to figure out what the heck I look like half the time too. Like, for example, every time I think about getting a haircut, I'm like, okay, well, what haircut in style would be nice and flattering for my face? But the problem is I can never figure out what the heck my face shape is. Is it kind of squarish? Is it a rectangle? Is it the triangle shape? Is it round? Is it oval? Is it heart-shaped? I don't know. I can never figure it out. Not in the slightest. And whether or not my face is shape-shifting, or if it's just the mirrors, or if it's just my own issues with potential face blindness, I don't know. Either way, I'm fighting it. To be fair, I think there's just a lot of assumptions about what people know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh yes, people will definitely know what this thing means. Also, it's real frustrating whenever they do, like, face shape examples, and then they use celebrities, and, like, half the celebrities on those lists have definitely had plastic surgery, and you can still see remnants of their old face shape in the moment or something like that, and you're just like, is that really your face shape, or did you just have it sculpted that way? And then half the time, it's always the same old haircuts that I'm like, I don't really like that one. I did have a haircut once upon a time that I really liked, but... Oh, wait, nope, that's the wrong way. Whoopsie. I had my hair nice and short at one point, kind of fluffy. Not quite like the broccoli hair thing going on. It just did its own little which way thing, and it was really fun. I quite liked it when it did the little floofs. Not quite in the floof, like, you know, like a lot of... I don't know. But I liked it. I liked it short. I kind of miss it. Every once in a while, I'm like, I really want to just chop off my dang hair, but part of me is terrified of getting it wrong and making a huge mess. And then the other part of me is like, but what if I like having a little bit of longish hair? It's just all over the place. I know wig is a solution. I have a bunch of cheapo wigs. I know I can get a fancy one. I don't want to get a fancy one because that means I have to take care of something that's not attached to my head. And let me tell you, taking care of synthetic wigs is a whole job and a half, and I'm not in the mood to deal with it. Most of my wigs are short anyway, so. Actually, they're kind of that longish, short thing because most of them are meant to be styled by the wearer, and I am not the most proactive on taking care of. I really should style some of my wigs. Good golly. I think I'm just coming to terms with I'm a little bit on the lazy side when it comes to putting things together. Don't know why. I'll have to work that out some point. Sooner rather than later. I think it's just also a fear of failure more than anything else, which I think a lot of people have. Quite a few people have a fear of failure, if you ask me. You ever see somebody freeze up when they don't know what to do? That's part of the fear of failure. Also, it's just I don't know what to do and I don't want to mess this up, which is completely valid. But I mean, at the point, it comes to a point where it starts to cripple you, and then it's just like, okay, there's a serious problem here, how do we fix it? I am still learning that lesson. I'll let you know when I understand the lesson and can actually share it. I first need to learn the lesson, and then I need to actually comprehend it, and then I need to actually implement it, and I have yet to implement it. Probably yet to comprehend? Comprehend. I almost said compliment, but that is not the word I am looking for. I do not want to compliment that fear. Can you do some damage, good friend? There you go. Thank you kindly. There we go. Oh, hey, look, another potion. Oh, my goodness gracious. La 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 la. La 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 la. We're chugging away. What XP are we at? We'll find out in just a little bit. Oh wow, we've already gotten over 2000 XP going on here. This is nice. We're not even halfway through the usual time and we're already chugging away. This is great. I love it. Oh, gotta sit up again. Maybe I should do a little bit of a turn. Make sure my spine doesn't stiffen. Oh, my. A weird piece of advice I have, if you haven't done it in a while, I suggest crawling on the floor like a baby. If you can do that at home, I recommend it. It's good exercise. Gets your arms and legs moving. I think it also works on your core. I know. I just think it's an excellent idea. I wonder if anybody's done a jazz version of Destati. I think that would be a lovely sound. I don't know how they do it, but I think I would love to hear it. I'm quite an enjoyer of jazz. I didn't enjoy it as much during like middle school, but that was because half the time whenever smooth jazz was thrown on me, it was at like the worst inconvenient times. And the only time I appreciated smooth jazz was when I was watching the Weather Channel and the local on the 8s for several hours straight. I was a freak of a child of doing that. I wasn't watching Saturday morning cartoons. I would get up in the morning, turn on the Weather Channel, and just sit and stare at the maps for God knows how long. I just like the weather. It was fascinating. Very fascinating. Oh, wow. Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum da-da-da-dum. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum da-da-da-dum. Da-da-dum. Da-da-dum. Oh hey, I think that said 6262. Excellent. Whee! Oh, good golly. Alright. So, guess what? We are at the 1 hour mark. On the dot, if I might add. And you know what that means? That means I'm going to take a short break because I am a person who only works in 1 hour increments before I start going stir crazy. And I need to do a couple of things, including getting a snack because I saw a really good looking snack earlier. Let me find the be right back button. I've got to do something about that be right back screen. Actually, just all my screens. They're going to get coordinated eventually. Anyway, I will in fact be right back. I'd like to thank you all for your patience and for waiting for me. Or for the VOD watchers, did you have fun skipping that section? I probably did too. I usually skip those whenever I pare down a VOD, but that doesn't usually happen to me too often, so. Oh, good golly. Well, hello, darling. Are you a Jelly Billy again? Goodness sakes. Jelly beans. Jelly bean, jelly bean, jelly bean. I had a lovely snack. I'm gonna have to make some compliments in just a second, actually. I'll do that the moment I take out these three. Let me send it next. I need to send some compliments and let them know. There we go. I did say I was gonna nab a couple of them at break, so this is not surprising. Oh, for son of a biscuit! Barking. Hi again, chat. Welcome back to another episode of Guess Whose Internet Went Kaput for 2 seconds? Mine! And I didn't even notice. Oh, why thank you. I might have composed it myself using a little thing called BandLab. Hang on a second. I gotta go and fist fight my Twitch app again. Would you please behave for 2 seconds? Good golly. I fixed it. Anyway. Alrighty. Used a bunch of synthetic instruments. It's my favorite. Love it to bits. Okay, is it behaving now? Sorry about the double notifs for those on Twitch. Unfortunately, that is just the nature of a disconnect reconnect. Thankfully, I don't have to fist fight it anymore for myself because I still have a solid copy of it. Which means I get to hear all of my little rantings and ramblings that you don't get to hear when my internet eats it. It's actually kind of funny. Some of the time. Sometimes it's funny, and then the other times it's just like, okay, dear, you can finish up your little tirade there. It's fine though. It's just a little bit of blowing off steam. I don't do much else other than just cuss it out a little bit. Every once in a while, like for example that one time where it just kept disconnecting, reconnecting all dang night, and I was just having a fit over it. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go downstairs and stare at that damn monitor. Monitor? Modem. That's what it's called. I was fusing the words modem and router and just got it all mixed up. Either way, I was this close to eating it. I'm pretty sure that's one of the clips in that video that I'm still working on. Oh, golly, that's gonna be a chore. Not necessarily a chore, it's just more of trying to... you know how perfectionism gets in the way? That. Every once in a while, I'm gonna look at a frame and be like, I don't like this, it looks too silly, it looks too corny, but you know what, at least I'm making it by hand, so, there. My terrible art is made by my own bare hands, and with the aid of technology as a tool. So, ha! Oh, I'm at above half HP, that's, well, that can be remedied, so it's not much of a problem. Oh no, I started trying to figure out the percentages of colors again on these walkways. Because part of me is like, that's an overwhelming amount of pink and purple. And then every once in a while I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's a lot of red. Actually, no, they do make the red a little bit more sparing. But then there's a lot of green, but then there's a lot of blue. I think they actually make it equal enough that it's not much of a problem. Do I still end up staring at it wondering if that's the case? Yes, I do. Do I wonder if it's all just the same file repeated and placed over different segments? Yes, I do. In fact, if I were a developer and had the ability to do that, I would do that for every single stinking model. If I have the ability to reuse assets and save a little bit on space, I will do it. I will not hesitate. Because honestly, it's just good programming and stuff like that. Is there a possibility that if that file gets nuked, that it nukes everything else? Of course. But it also means that if somebody tries to do any sort of texture modding, they're in for a real weird awakening. And a lot of odd shenanigans. I don't know if anybody's done any sort of texture mods like that, though, on Kingdom Hearts 2. I'd have to poke around and see. I know there were some mods in, like, the early days, usually with, like, using the emulators of the PS2 and PlayStation 4 versions of the games. But I am 100% sure that the moment that the PC versions came out, everybody was making all sorts of wacky mods. I've seen some wacky mods actually. There's a couple of YouTubers who regularly do mod videos where they just do all sorts of weird, silly mods on their channels. I am staring you down, Wi-Fi. Do not test me. I will throw hands. Goodness gracious me. Oh my goodness. These fellas are getting a little aggressive. Which, I mean, I don't mind a little bit of aggression. It does mean I get to move along, but goodness gracious me. Chill out for just a second. Also, I think it would have been way more hilarious if the darn VOD cut out at the exact moment that I did the be right back. That way it would be a little half and half instead of just cutting off right partway through that. Ah, goodness me. Oh well, it is what it is. That's the joy and curse of dealing with wireless connections. Wireless connections can be finicky. That's why you tend to do wired, but I currently do not have the logistics set up to do a wired connection, so we're sticking to wireless for now. For now. We'll see. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Just because, one, I don't want to do it, and two, right now, wireless is still working for me, so I'll live with it. Ah! No, behavior. Apologies, I am experiencing the I feel the world around me, and unfortunately that includes my very itchy nose. Why is the nose itching? I don't know. Do you need to know that? Probably not. So I'll stop talking about it. You'll just know if I'm complaining, it's probably about that. Alright. Let's get him again. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Ow. I could go for a nap. Naps are nice. But I need to do this. I need to make progress. I want to make progress so dang bad. Hello, little lady. Hi. Oh, yep. You got your bone to chew on? Alright, there you go. That puppy really loves chewing on her dog bones. She loves chewing on bones. She says, this is delicious. I'm gonna take this back to my favorite spot and hide it there until later. And then we'll eventually put it back in the bone bucket, and then they'll fish them all out all over again. And get gathered back in there. It's honestly an excellent process of figuring out which bones are no longer desired by the dog so then we can get rid of them. Very fun process, actually. And then the ones that get too small, we just get rid of them because we're just like, yeah, we're not going to let this choking hazard stick around. It ain't good. Oh, good golly. Alright, come on. Give me some damage. Give me the damage. Alright, there we go. Nice. Alrighty, there we go. Did not think I would get into it. Son of a gun, I see you. I was gonna say, did not think I would set into something of a food coma off of 2 crepes, but here we are. Goodness sakes, I just get a little snack and bada bing bada boom, I'm like almost down for the count. Rude. That's alright. I can work with it. That's what I always say, I can work with it, which is true. I can, have, and will continue to work against my brain's functions. Oh, for Hi again, chat. Guess what happened? You'll never guess. I'm just kidding, you'll definitely guess. Sorry for the multiple notifications today. I'm gonna fist fight something. Something's getting fist fought. We're doing it again. Something's getting whacked. I don't know what. I don't know what will get whacked, but something's getting whacked. Work with me, you piece of crap. Come on. See, this is why I switched over to recording while I'm live, because this bull. Goodness gracious me. Alright, which one of you can I nuke? Who can I nuke? I can't nuke half of you. Okay, I'm gonna nuke you. Bye. Get gone. Alright, I think... And that one too. And there's one more. I just want it out of my face. I don't think it actually does anything, but it gives me a peace of mind, so I'm doing it. Now I gotta restart the entire thing because guess what? It throws a fit. Oh good, I closed it anyway. Alright. There we go. Goodness sakes. Nothing quite like fist fighting the Wi-Fi, ain't it? That reminds me, I need to finish that bingo card. I mean, I do have that bingo card pretty much all but finished. I just need to put some squares in it so then it's all fine and dandy, and then I can post it for whenever I go live. And the best part about it... Ooh! Interesting. No, wait, no, that wouldn't work. I would have to do some shenanigans to make it work. I mean, I could do some shenanigans to make that work. No, I can... yep. Okay, yes. I think I can do that workaround. I'll do a little guess and check later. Not right now. But for another day, I will do a guess and check and see if I can make that work. Because if I can, that means I can skip a little file sharing shenanigan. Because that'll drive me nuts if I have to do like 15 different ports just to make it work. I mean, it is always good to have a backup in some sort of quote-unquote cloud, but... I trust the cloud as far as I can throw it, and I can't throw that dang thing. Actually, you know what? I never understood that phrasing. I've never understood that phrase. Not in the slightest. Trust it as far as I can throw it. Let me look it up. It's one of those nights I've already been derailed. We're derailing more. If I can type, that'd be great. Okay, so it's basically I don't trust it worth anything. So, yeah, okay, I'm using it correctly. That's all I needed to know. That's been bugging me for months, by the way. Probably years, actually. But I just assumed it was a general, like, yeah, I don't trust that dang thing, but, yeah. I don't even remember what I said. Oh, right, cloud services, that's what it is. Because in the end, there's gonna be some business that when they introduce a cloud service, they're gonna be like, now pay us. And now you're stuck because you have all your dang files on there and you can't port them all to your PC without taking forever and a day, so they just basically squeeze you out of money. God dang it. I'm not about to go into another rant and ramble about this again. I cannot do it again. It just brings me inordinate amounts of rage. And we don't need that. It's not good for the heart. I don't need that. Not that my heart's in any bad condition. I had it checked. It's doing just fine. Well, okay. Last time I checked it was doing just fine, but nah, okay, maybe that was over about 10 years ago. It's fine, I'm sure. It's all fine and dandy. It's not gonna cause me problems later. Oh, goodness me. I'm so sorry to every single person who's trying to watch this through Twitch or watching it through the Twitch VODs, because y'all are fighting for your lives. Well, it's more fighting with the Wi-Fi with me, and unfortunately I don't think I have that whole disconnect protection thing where it, like, holds on to it or something like that, because I ain't partner. Not for a little while, unfortunately. That'll be a little while. Are you all gonna fight me, or are you just gonna bounce around like a bunch of hooligans? Goodness sakes. Sometimes these dusks make me remind myself about how impatient I am. And then sometimes they actually get down to business. I appreciate when they get down to business, but when they start making me impatient, whoo boy. I'm just like, would you fight me already? I'm not in the mood to take a 4 right now. Would you please behave? Thank you. Okay. It was starting to do a fit again. I didn't appreciate it. Oh, good grief. Never a dull day on the stream. Never a dull time. And a hop. And a skip. That's not really a skip. We're like that. Hop. Skip. Jump. I don't know if that makes so much of a difference. Whee! Oh, can't use my items midair. Or is that only because I'm holding down the circle? Interesting. So while I'm falling, I can use them. Oh, wait. I am trying to do science here. Oh, I should probably take some damage anyway. Interesting. I can't do items midair. Interesting. I can tell I've been here a while. It's gonna be very funny when I get to level 99. I already did a little test run at level 35 or so. Just to make sure that it wouldn't like do an overload. Thank goodness it does not. And I already had confirmation from another viewer that that will be just fine. Donald and Goofy might not be very fine. In fact, they're gonna get a whooping for their lives because I'm gonna be over leveled and they're gonna be under leveled, so they're gonna be like beefing. I'm gonna have a grand old time though. I better not steal all the XP from them, otherwise they ain't gonna level up. Poor things. It'll be finally my turn to carry them. Wow. They carried me through KH1. I'll be able to carry them through KH2. That wouldn't be so bad. I am looking at you. I saw the glitchy. This is why I babysit my dang streams and monitor them. Stinking connection, throwing a fit. Spine fix. As in, I have to sit up again, because guess who forgot to sit up? Me. Wow. Okay. Okay, note to self, do not close my eyes. Why is this, of all things, so relaxing? I'm not kidding. Every time I do this, it is one of the most relaxing parts of my entire day. I just fight the same 10 dusks over and over. I'm comfy and cozy in my seat. I got a blanket in case I get a little bit chilly. I have my water bottle on standby, so then in case I get a little thirsty or if my throat dries out like the Sahara, I have something to drink, so then I can continue yapping away about whatever it is that I like to yap about. Okay, yeah, it makes sense why my brain winds down. I think it also is just my brain now associates doing this type of stream with the end of the night, so I'm just like, ah, what a nice, lovely time. I get to settle down. I get to chill. I'm actively working with something. It's just me, the game, and also me yelling at the internet connection for every once in a while throwing a fit. I'm not mentioning that because it's having a fit right now. I just pointed out that it is part of the experience. It would have been only slightly funny if it did have the comedic timing to do that, so then I could raise my voice just a wee bit at it, just to add some emphasis to it. Oh my god. Oh. So I have an old stereo nearby that plays CDs and cassette tapes. And it's mainly just there because it's a remnant of years past and we never got rid of it, and I'm very glad we never got rid of it because it's nice to play on a CD player every once in a while. And my old CD player that used to be all mine is long gone and was dead the last time I checked, so that's why we got rid of it in the first place. Poor thing. May it rest in peace. Anyhow, Every once in a while, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to listen to music on my phone or on Spotify. I'm just gonna pop a CD in and listen to it the old-fashioned way. And for some reason, it's just more relaxing that way. Maybe it's just because there's a start and there's an end to it. It's not just endless, endless, endless. It's kind of like when Facebook, you used to be able to scroll and hit the bottom of the feed, and it's like, there you go, there's your updates for all your friends and stuff. Nowadays, it's just endless, endless, endless scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Half the time, it's not even updates from your friends. It's like the 50,000 pages that you can't remember that you actually liked, because then you just typed in random things that you liked, and then the page gets sold to some random corporation, and they start posting all sorts of weird shenanigans on there, and then you have to go with the painstakingly effort of, like, ripping yourself out of there because it's just like, well, I don't want to follow this page anymore. This ain't what I liked. And they sold it off in the first place because a bunch of people followed it and liked it and stuff, and it's real annoying. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Because it's just like content, 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 content. Here you go. Feed more, 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 more. Here's your ads. Buy this. Eat this. Look at this. Believe this. That sort of thing. Oh my god. Whew. Gonna take a little bit of a mental calm breather there. Goodness sakes. I just miss when Facebook wasn't so whatever it is now. I liked it better when there were actual friends there, instead of 90% just sales and stuff. Ugh. And you know what my favorite thing was? Is that you could actually customize the colors on your page instead of having that stinking blue all the time. You could paint it green, or you could paint it red, or you could paint it yellow, and the banner was actually blue instead of it being white with blue lettering instead. Let me tell you, when it switched over to the white background with the blue lettering, I was just like, oh. It got corporatized. I mean, I already had a little bit of my own issues when it went public, because a lot of times whenever a company goes public, that's usually when it starts doing dumb stuff to appease the shareholders, and then it's just like... Because half the time when the shareholders are appeased, it's just the dumbest thing, and it never works out for the end user. They just become a product, and it's annoying. I could go on and on, honestly. I don't want to go on and on. It just makes me yearn for the old days when the ads were just the most dumb, non-targeted things, like hot singles in your area, or your dentist doesn't want you to know this, and you're like, haha, that's funny. I ain't gonna click on it, but that's funny. There were also some other ads, but those were the two major highlights that that would just pop out at you. I can't remember a specific one. There's one, like, I have a vague memory that comes to mind, and it's just the silliest thing. Mostly because people commentated on it and thought it was great. I think it was one of those dating website ones, but it was very funny. I don't know why it was funny, but it was funny. I don't know, it just, the ads just felt more real about being advertisements. I like those silly little things. I like them to look a little crummy, a little bit silly. At least they're blatantly honest about what they're doing, and they're like, hey, we want you to buy this thing. They're being open about it. But that's just me. And maybe I'm just on the nostalgic side. There was one advertisement that I absolutely liked, and it's mainly just because there was chocolate involved. It was like a whole double boiler chocolate making set. It wasn't even actually just making chocolate. You just buy store chocolate or whatever, and then you can do like little fun shaped molds and melt the chocolate and dip things in it. But they did a good job of advertising their product, and like, hey, you can also get these cute little molds to make little shapes out of the chocolate. or yeah, like all sorts of things. You know, they advertise well, and they're like, oh yeah, you don't even have to use chocolate in here. You can use cheese and melt cheese and do like fondue and stuff like that. Or that one other thing, I think that was a Betty Crocker product. The one that allows you to make ice cream cakes. Where like you bake the cake into a certain shape using the pans, and then you insert in the ice cream afterwards, and then like layer it, and then you get your little ice cream cake. Get your at-home ice cream cake. There you go. Boom, done. I'm noticing a theme here in the ads that I liked, and they all revolved around sweet foods. The potential sugar addiction has not changed. But I'll be honest, on the bright side, the chocolate might be less expensive than any other alternative addictions I could have. So you know what, I'll take it. And it's probably just a sign that I need way more iron. How much iron am I taking anyway? Let me take a look-a-roo at that real quick. Maybe I need to take 2 pills instead of just 1 in a day. Let me take a look-a-roo at that. Hey, iron bottle. How many of you I got? 3... No. Wait, what? 65. Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough. Well, it says, according to the little supplement facts, it's 350? No, that's a 6. I can't read in this daylight. Lack of daylight. I can't read in this lighting. I'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm gonna double it once tomorrow and let y'all know the results. It's kind of like that time where I was only taking 1 B12 pill at a time, and I was like, huh, I don't think this is actually doing it. And then one time I took 2, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this is actually working for me a little better. Maybe I just need a little more iron. I was low on iron that time when I took the blood test that got me to take the iron and the B12 in the first place, so I might as well take a little more just to see if I need to kick in a little bit more. In all fairness, I was scarfing down the hamburgers, so that could be another factor. That could be a major factor indeed. Oh my gosh, I am not doing mathematics on that. Good golly. Gosh dang it, Twitch. Why are you like this? If I ever get the chance, I would love to ask any of the devs that work on Twitch, be like, okay, I gotta ask, why do you do when the disconnect happens? Like, if it's just a short blip of a disconnect, why do you split the VODs like that? I bet there's like a whole thing that they do for that reason or something like that. Unless it's just part of the feature of being a partner or something like that, then I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay, I see how it is. I mean, I get it. Maybe it's a data thing. Maybe it's a data usage thing, and that's why they stick it to partners and maybe affiliates? I don't know. I don't know the whole deal, so. Maybe that's what it is. Not related, but slightly related. I think it's, speaking of nutrition, oh my gosh, I need water. Bad. I haven't been drinking water as heavily as I normally do. I'm trying to... Not necessarily trying to dial it down too much. I want to stay hydrated, but... Just trying to not go absolutely bananas on the poor water bottle and having to refill it constantly. I mean, I used to go for 2, 2.5, maybe 3 water bottles in like an 8... No, okay, it's way more than that in an 8-hour period. No, 9-hour period of time. Either way, I used to be quite a fiend with water. I mean, I still am. I just don't have 3 water bottles of varying sizes all the time anymore. I've just pared it down to 1 and just refill that one every time and then wash it and clean it to make sure it doesn't get all gross and disgusting, because nobody wants to drink bacteria like that. No one wants to get sick on the own water bottle they drink. I use soap too. And I make sure I wash the lid and the grooves for screwing on the lid for the water bottle. Like, I do the whole 9 yards, because I'm not playing around. I played enough Oregon Trail to know what happens if you drink bad water. It ain't pretty. And it ain't good. I can still hear the "oh no, a bad moment has happened" in my head. And I haven't played Oregon Trail in a long time. I wonder which one of those learning CDs that thing is stuck onto, because I know it's on one of them. I know it's there. I'll have to do some digging, but I know it's there. And I know it will frighten me. It'll be extra funny though when I use it, because, or use any of the CDs, especially on the old XP system. Because my XP computer, its disk drive is a little bit broken, as in it will not spit out the dang disk drive. I had to do some operation on it to extract the old Crayola Magic Wardrobe CD that was in there. I miss when there was a little bit of effort put into random products and demos. I love those little CD demos. They were so fun. Such a shame some of them are a little bit too damaged to be able to do anything. Because it'd be so much fun. It'd be so much fun to play them again. And the other thing is, if I want to play them again, I have to do some little shenanigans to be able to capture card it. I think I can't. No, I don't think I can. I think I need a secondary adapter for that. Yeah, I need a secondary adapter because I'm pretty sure that I don't have an HDMI cable port in that XP computer. Shoot. Yep, I'll have to poke around at my electronics store to figure out how to navigate that. That's gonna be fun. I could also check in with anybody who does retro gaming, recording and streaming and that so forth. Hello, darling. What you doing? What you looking at? Hi. Would you like some pets? No? You're just gonna go and chew on a bone? Yeah, that makes sense. Could y'all chill for a second and not add to my non-existent death counter? That'd be much appreciated. I think I've already said this many times before. When I get close to a death counter ad or something like that, I always say, I'm not adding to the death counter before Twilight Thorn. It no longer counts, just because it's usually me not paying attention. I think the death counter will be much more hilarious when I'm at level 99. Because then that means I must have done really bad to be able to get that creamed. In my defense, I'll only have a max of 60 HP. Actually, no. My HP raises with certain events, so it's gonna be so much worse. I am going to be the glass cannon. Which really sucks. Why did I do this in critical mode? Past me from like goodness knows how long ago. Why did you do that? I can't ask myself that back in time. That don't work. I wish it would. In the defense of the critical mode choice, that was when I was a little bit better at the games, functionally. And was still regularly playing them all the time. Or at least enough that it would make sense for me to do that. And when I had the stamina and physical ability to handle that much cortisol all at once. Nowadays, if I push it too hard, I'm gonna not have fun. It won't do anything too major, it'll just make me like, ugh, later. Gets back up and running. Are you behaving? I'm looking at you. Thank you. Alright, as I was saying, tiny little handheld car vacuum thing that plugs into the little thing that used to be a cigarette lighter or whatever. Long story short, I accidentally dropped the little piece of plastic into the bin at my college, in the dumpster, mind you. And I knew very well that if I tried to climb in, I would not be able to physically climb out. So what I did is I hopped up onto the edge of it and basically turned myself into a human seesaw and dipped myself into the bin to grab the plastic and then managed to get out. That's because I didn't go all the way in. That's the trick of it. But it was also really funny because some of my neighbors who were other college students got to witness that magical moment of me being a human seesaw just trying to get a piece of plastic out of the bin that I didn't want to be in the bin. So yeah. I don't think that qualifies as dumpster diving if it was an accidental drop-in. So yeah, from there on out, I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to this while I try to deal with the debris of whatever I vacuumed out of my car. Works like a charm. I can't remember the last time I used that thing. Probably because I don't know how to empty the dang thing. That's my problem. I need to fix that problem. I knew at one point. I'll figure it out later. It's probably something silly and simple. Goodness sakes, I gotta take a lot of damage to get what I want. Oh, we are on a roll today. Nice. Oh, next stream we are so leveling up. I am so excited for that. I am so stoked that I got my regular accent back. Nice. Yeah, that pseudo-southern accent, that is not my natural accent. That's just the one my brain resorts to when it has a little bit of trouble getting things together. I love that it does that. I mean, I articulate better. Hey, could you behave? Okay, fixed it. But yeah, I tend to articulate better when I talk like that, so sometimes I just let myself talk, and eventually I get back to my regular accent, the one that I was somewhat raised with. I don't know. My voice is an amalgamation of all the voices I've heard and spent time with, and sometimes it gets a little bit chaotic. I've said that many times before, and I'll keep saying it. Because it's still the same. I don't think that will ever change. I will be an amalgamation. Kind of fun, actually. It does mean that every once in a while, if I'm not careful, my voice gets turned into a blender, and then it just is a little bit not fun for the ears. Or is it? Well, ain't that a fascinating thing? Ain't that a fascinating thing? Huh. Well, be. Good to know. Alrighty. Is it behaving? Nope, of course it's not behaving. There we go. Goodness sakes. As per usual, the connection is fist fighting me, so I am mentally fist fighting it back, because as we all know, there's a limit to percussive maintenance, and unfortunately, my laptop cannot do any percussive maintenance. I do have to kind of fist fight it every time before I start the stream. I'm glad I remembered a little bit before, like 20-30 minutes before the stream. I was like, I better start up my laptop and deal with its issue with connection, because every time I take that dang thing out of town and connect it to some other Wi-Fi, it's just like, oh, my home Wi-Fi, I don't know who that is, I'm not going to connect at all, I'm going to have problems. And then I have to go through the whole song and dance of troubleshooting the dang thing, and then it goes through, resets the Wi-Fi adapter, and then it's like, okay, I'm alright. It is beefing tonight. Holy crap. Okay, there we go, fixed it. I think I fixed it. Okay. Yay! Anyway, the corner of my vision that processed it, I just completely forgot about the existence of a mirror and the light that was in the reflection above the mirror. In, like, the tippy top, there's, like, a lighter section. There was just a section. Disconnect or behave. I am not joking here. Disconnect or behave. Okay. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate the answer. It decided to behave. Of course, part of you is not going to hear that at all. And that is why I record things. Yay! So then I can look back and be like, ugh. Whee! Whee! Okay. Well, that was fun. Alright. What am I fighting now? There we go. Oh, we are so totally leveling up next stream. Not this stream. No, thank you. That is a little bit too much on the top of my head. On the top of my head? What? Hello? On the top of my... Oh, okay. Apparently my brain is full of fried chicken. Sounds real good about now. That sounds really, really good. I like fried chicken. Some of it is better than others. It really depends. And I don't like them too spicy. I know that's a controversial opinion, but I just like a little bit of salt on my fried chicken, maybe some pepper, but that's about it. I can do spices, I can't do spicy. There's a difference between spices and spicy. Spices? I love them. Flavor that up. But when the hot is not a flavor to me. I'm gonna be real with y'all. If it's too hot to the point where I can't actually taste the flavor of the food, then what is the dang point? I want to be able to taste the food. I want to enjoy the flavors. But unfortunately, my palate does not tolerate the high heat. Or whatever gives the illusion of high heat. It's just not fun. It burns. It's no bueno. Not very delicioso either. I'm sorry, I just took a moment to appreciate in my head of me speaking Spanish with this accent. It's just a hell of a combo. I need to remember what that one thing was, so then I can track down it and mess with that for language practice instead. Because Duo pissed me off too many times. Whee! Bam. Nice. Okay. Okay. Nice. How are we doing in XP? Okay. Okay, we're doing pretty swell. Oh my gosh, Chad. We're gonna hit 300,000 in a couple thousand XP. We're gonna hit 300,000 by the time we hit level 47. Ain't that awesome? I was gonna say ain't that sweet, but I don't think that really works. I wouldn't really call it, well, I mean, sweet was technically regularly used in slang as saying, oh, that's pretty sweet, like, that's pretty cool. Lots to think about with that. Language is such a funny thing. Oh my my. It changes a lot too. Lots and lots. Oh, for the love of God. Please. Wi-Fi. I can see you. I saw you break. Why are you like this? Son of a... Hi, chat. Welcome back again. Guess what broke?
It's the Wi-Fi. It did it again.
I swear sometimes this thing hates me. Although I'm pretty sure it's my... Yeah, I'm about 50-50 that it's my adult laptop just being an absolute jerk to me. It does not like to behave. Oh, and now I gotta go and fix the Twitch app again. And that means there's gonna be a really tiny VOD to publish on Twitch. Ain't that a lovely, charming thing? Good golly. Also, I do apologize to every one of my Twitch viewers that gets to see that notification for the umpteenth time. Hi again, chat. It's good to see y'all. I hope you don't mind the spamming. It's literally just the disconnect, reconnect habit factor. Alrighty. Might as well do that while I'm still thinking about it. Are you gonna work? Wait, was I just there? I thought I was in a different spot. What is going on? Oh, you did break. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. I was like, okay, something wrong's here. Stinking Twitch app, it's just like, you disconnected me. Now I must freeze up until you completely reboot me. I don't know why I do this. Because I'm probably poorly optimized. And I'm mainly used just to get money banks and money in the pockets of whoever uses this app. And also into the pockets of Google because they take a percentage of whatever subscription you use through the mobile app. That is actually a fact, by the way. I'm not joking. Ah. My own voice change bits make me laugh. That's great. I love that. Alright. Yay! More damage! We love that. More damage! Excellent. Perfect. I love it. Stellar. Brava. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Did not love the disconnect, reconnect, but totally loving the fact that we are about 4,000 extra XP, which is 100% now guaranteed that we are leveling up the next stream. Not this one, next one, which is tomorrow. Yay! And it's going to be the same time as usual at 6:30 p.m. PST, also known as 9:30 p.m. EST. Wait, no, that's not right. It's technically PDT and EDT because the Eastern and Daylight Time. Freaking Daylight Time Zone! BS. Good. I will not deny it. I will take accountability for my stupid actions. And my poor sleep schedule. Oh, for the love of God, are you freaking kidding me? Hello again. Thank goodness I record my live streams now so I don't lose perfectly good funny material. Holy crap. Jeez Louise. With the way this behaves sometimes... Okay, I'm just gonna go on an angry rant. With the way this thing behaves sometimes, I swear, every once in a while, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe there's not much of a point to streaming. Maybe I should just record it and pretend I'm live. So then that way, y'all can actually get a full, proper, uploaded, unedited, bull shenanigan stream thing Except it's just not a stream because I don't get to actually interact with anyone. The whole point of the stream is to interact. But anyway. It's just one of those nights. This happens every once in a while. Every once in a while, the connection does not like being cooperative. And it throws God knows how many wrenches into everything. And this is just one of those evenings where I am getting so many wrenches thrown at me and so many sockets, and none of them are the freaking 10mm socket that fits just right. If you're a mechanic or work with tools, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the 10mm socket. It's always the one that goes missing. Every single time. Every single time. Alright, let's take these puppies out. They're not puppies. Thank goodness they're not puppies. I would not be able to do a game where I fight puppies. I can't do it. I like puppies way too much. You're so cute. Even when they get a little bit growly at me. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see the flippin' chat history on my chat monitor. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna look at it right now. Hello, chat. I'm gonna babysit you. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4! Okay. Alright, that's enough, mimicking Count Dracula. Okay! Well, would you look at the time? Fortunately, unfortunately, at least fortunately for those who are kind of sick of suffering through the Wi-Fi, guess what? Congratulations, you made it to the end of the stream. We're gonna save. To save our progress. Thank goodness I am not working with a cloud game. Ugh. Ugh. I just had a horrible vision of even trying to work with that. This is why I don't try to game off the cloud. Because of this! This! Anyway. Now that we saved and made plenty of progress, thank you all so much for stopping by, watching, or even watching the VODs. And for those who are on Twitch and somehow managing to watch through all of those VODs, congratulations, you are a trooper. I wish I could give you a sticker for that. Anyway, for anybody who happened to enjoy the stream, despite the shenanigans, you can follow me on Twitch if you're watching through the Twitch side and prefer watching through Twitch, or on the YouTube side you can hit the subscribe button. Both ways give you a notification for whenever I go live. I also have a Twitter, a Blue Sky, and a Tumblr. I mostly post on the Twitter and Blue Sky to let y'all know I'm live, and I also post silly things. Every once in a while I post on the Tumblr, usually just to rant and ramble or post a video or something like that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Have a good one, and here is your end stream screen. Bye-bye!